Shazam!
What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Clark Reviews. It's your boy Donovan. Wanted to take a few minutes out of your beautiful Saturday afternoon. At least it's beautiful where I'm at, and I'm extra thankful because we're having a birthday party today. But I wanted to talk about Shazam. Went and seen it Thursday night, opening night. I know it was shown a week in advance, but I didn't get those Fandango tickets because I'm not a Fandango VIP member. I should be, though, for as much as I go to the movies. So I'm a little late posting this video, so I apologize. But I want to tell you, I'm going to try not to spoil anything if you haven't seen it yet. But Shazam is really good. You know, it is it's an origin story, as you know. Takes place in the DCEU, and there's a lot of references, especially because Freddy, his friend, is a huge superhero fanatic. So it's taking place after everything else that's happened in the, if you want to call it, the worlds of DC, DCEU, or just DC movies in general. Okay, it's a true origin story, and I know you had a Wonder Woman, and there's a vast array of DC movies, but with this being based around a child trying to find his family and his place in the world because he's a foster child, it comes across as DC's first, maybe not first, but the first in a long time true family movie. You know, I've always been a true believer that one of the advantages that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has is that people don't know the characters, right? There's people that'll say they like Iron Man, has never picked up an Iron Man comic book, or the same with Captain America or Thor, right? Everybody knows who Hulk is. Everybody knows who the X-Men are. But before Iron Man came out in 2008, there wasn't a lot of people that knew about him or read his comic books, but they watched the movies. And over 10 years, there's a certain demographic of people that's grown up with those movies. But those movies have been family friendly. Like, you can go watch them, and they've told a story about that character, and people watching it can understand. You don't have to know anything about them. DC, on the other hand, has made it more for fans. So if you're a fan like me and millions of other people's, you don't gotta. You know what's going on. You don't need all the filler that, you know, the casual moviegoer would want. I believe that this movie does that. It's a movie that I took my kids to see it, that you can sit there and watch, you can laugh, you can enjoy the story and the adventure and the action. Had its darker moments because, you know, it had the 7 deadly sins in there, working with Dr. Savannah. But, they were kind of creepy. They were actually pretty cool. It was one of my favorite parts of the movie. But it wasn't real dark. You know, like Man of Steel snapping somebody's neck dark, or, you know, Batman shooting people in the car and running them over and killing. Because, you know, that whole Batman killing people in BVS is kind of a thing of controversy. But I still love those movies. Don't get it twisted. But Shazam was good, you know. Gave you some backstory on Savannah, showed his ambitions of what he wanted to do, showed the growth of Shazam and kind of how he got his powers. You know, anytime a movie like this happens, there's some places in it where you feel like it was rushed or you wanted more backstory, but it's a little over 2 hours long, okay? You're not going to get the whole thing. Get the director's cut, right? Release that Sandberg cut. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding, okay? Hashtag release the Sandberg cut. I think that's his last name. I actually think the live action suit looked really well. The action scenes were good. There's something happens in it that I was wondering if it was going to happen, and I wasn't sure. But when the third act rolled around, it was pretty cool. It has to deal with his foster family. So if you know anything about Shazam, you know what I'm talking about. I enjoyed that moment. But the action was top notch. Now, one thing I do have to nitpick on is that, and they kind of addressed it a little bit, is that when Billy Batson was Billy Batson, he was just down in the doldrums teenager, which he's looking for his mom because he thought that he lost her when he was younger, right? And he's trying to find her. But when he becomes Shazam and he's Zachary Levi, he's this upbeat, spunky guy, right? They're they're a bit of a contrast between the two. Now, Freddie points it out and says, "Hey, I like you like this. You know, you just when you were Billy, you were, you know, not pleasant to be around. Now that you have these powers, you know, you're a joy. You know, it's complete contrast. I thought that was a little much because Billy was just, like I said, he was on a mission to find his mom and he was sad, so he didn't want nothing to do with anybody. Then he gets these superpowers, and Zachary Levi's he's just, you know, he's joyous all the time. So I felt like those two characters, the personalities, you know, being the same character but different, kind of clashed a little bit for me. You know, maybe if Billy was a little bit more upbeat, because I'm not mistaken, in the comics he's a bit of a smartass. So, and he's a teenager. Now I got the teenage vibe, but I just, with him and Billy, you know, Shazam and then Billy, kind of like completely different, and they try to cover that a little bit. I would give Shazam a solid B+. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good family movie that you can take your kids and have a good time. It makes you laugh. Like I said, the CGI is mostly on point. A lot of action. And it's enjoyable. It's just a good time. It's a good, like I said, it's DC's probably first good family movie. First comic book heroes. Excuse me. But not that they don't have other family movies. This one just gives that vibe, you know. And it sends a positive message about foster care, because the family that takes him in has went through it, and you know, they know what it's like, so they try to relate to him and be there for him when nobody else has been. So that was good. If you're a little sensitive, there's a moment in there where it might bring a tear to your eye, and you gotta be like, "Get back in there, tear." I didn't do that, but some of y'all might have to. I'm a thug, so. But no, I give Shazam a solid B+. Only gripe, the contrasting personality between Shazam and Billy Batson. Could have used a little bit more action, but overall for an origin story, it was good. I had a good time. I know they're not in competition, but I did enjoy Shazam a whole lot more than I enjoyed Captain Marvel. Okay, I'm not trying to pick any fights. I just didn't enjoy Captain Marvel, and I know people compare him because of the history of the characters and the name, but I enjoyed Shazam a whole lot more. So, if you guys have seen it and you want to add anything, let your boy know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed my review of Shazam, hit that like button. You may not subscribe, but help a brother out and hit that like button for me. If I get a notification that you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back to you. Okay? Game recognized game. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Peace. Now on to Endgame.
Shazam!